Welcome to week number 3 of the Stitch Along. This is the study of texture afghan with our friends over at Yarnspirations.com, and I'm your host Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. In week number 3 we're going to do the study of Cheap Night at the Movies. So come on in my vehicle, we'll go over to the movies together and we'll get started on this afghan once again. This afghan we're going to be introducing popcorn stitches that go pop, 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 pop all around the afghan. We're going to be having some fun with this. This one's not too complex, this particular one, so I'm giving you a bit of a break as we enjoy a movie together. So without further ado, let's head on into the studio and let's get you started on your cheap night at the movies for week number 3. Welcome to week number 3, the study of texture afghan. This is a mystery and this is lesson number 3 of the study of Cheap Night at the Movies. So there was some popcorn stitching here, and this was inspired by the Joanne Spring Stitch Along where there was a popcorn square, but I decided not to do too many popcorns because I didn't want to drive you crazy with that. So what we have here is that we've got 3 rounds to go. So if you're continuing along, this gray here is already been done, so just ignore that. So you have 13 all the way through 19 to do. So as we begin 13, 14, and 15, those are all just single crochet rounds, and your colors may change in your ball, which will lend itself very well in this. Then we're going to do a popcorn round, again another single crochet, we're going to do double crochet, and then we're back to the back post double crochet to finish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you started on 13, and I'm going to ask you to do 14 and 15 on your own because it's basically the same, exactly the same thing to do in the corners and to finish off each of the rounds. So it's actually pretty simple. So let's grab your crochet hook and let's continue the study of texture afghan with me. So let's continue now on to round number 13, 14, and 15. So I want you to do all 3. I'm only going to show it one time though. You're going to chain up 1 and you're going to apply a single crochet in the corner. And then you're going to then move to the very next stitch. Remember that here you have the chain 2, which is a builder, so this doesn't count as anything, so don't make that mistake to include that as a stitch. That only appears the first time when you start a round. It's not on any other corner. So just making sure that you don't accidentally get that as a stitch. You're going to continue then and single crochet yourself all the way around, and then in the corners you will apply the same thing. It'll be 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, and when you come back to the very start of this, so when you come back around, don't forget you have to do a single crochet and do a half double crochet join like you've already done in the weeks prior. So what I want you to do is this row, so row number 13, 14, and 15, and then join me back here. I'm gonna have a color change by the time I get back there, and we'll see you at that point. So get rounds number 13, 14, and 15 done, all single crochet. So now that your 3 rounds are complete with the single crochet, we're now going to go to round number 16. We're going to chain up 3 and put 1 double crochet into the same one that you see here. So there's 2 into the corner. So when you look at all the corners, it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and you can confirm that on this side if you wish. Now we're going to start our popcorns. The popcorns, I didn't want to do it too many times in this particular afghan, so it didn't really slow you down too much. So what's going to happen is that after we get the first 2 in the corners done, there's going to be 1, 2, 3 double crochets, then a popcorn, 1, 2, 3 popcorn, 1, 2, 3 popcorn. You're going to do that all the way across, and then the final 3 in the actual stitch work will be a double crochet, and then in your corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and you restart that again. So 1, 2, 3 popcorn, 1, 2, 3 popcorn, all the way into the next corners. So let's begin round number 16. So let's begin round number 16. You're gonna say, well, that's out of place. And you know what, it's the luck of the draw when it comes to this self-striping yarn. One of them that I did as a sample, it actually has a huge section like this with an extra different color. So you know what, you give or take, and that's what's so fun about this particular blanket. So let's begin. We're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, that counts as a double crochet, and in the same space you're gonna double crochet again to the corner. So remember what I said. So in the next ones that we have going on, okay, we're going to continue on, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, and 3, and then the next one is a popcorn. To do the popcorn, all you have to do is wrap the hook going into the next stitch and double crochet 5 times into that same one. Now we did this in a Joanne Spring Stitch Along once, and the whole square was like this, and I know a lot of people don't love doing all this extra work, so I only did it 1 round in this whole thing to make it easier. So you got 5 done, so you're just gonna go into the beginning one of the 5, the starting one, put this back onto the hook and pull it through, and that makes your popcorn. So in the very next stitch that's available to you, it's gonna be a double crochet plus 2 more. So there's gonna be 3 in a row that are just double crochets. I'll show you a popcorn once again. So there's 3 in a row, so the next one must be a popcorn, and you're gonna double crochet 5 times. And once you get your 5 done, you take it off, go to the beginning one of the 5, insert in, grab the loop, pull through, and then double crochet the next 3 in a row. So continue that all the way around, and then you're gonna end up with 3 double crochets at the very end of this. You're gonna do your corners, which will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then you start with 3 in a row that are just double crochet, and then a popcorn, 3, and then popcorn, and you're gonna do that all the way around for round number 16. So please do that now. Before I get all the way around, I want to show you something. Here's an idea that helps you a lot, and this is what I was doing during the design. You will find that there will be 11 popcorns between here and the final corner. So you only see 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'm not done my corner completely. So the next one here is a popcorn that I have. And so you should have a total of 11 of those. So if you don't have 11 of those, something is wrong. So what you can just do is that you can just always fake it or make it in order to get an extra stitch in there if you have to, in order to push things through. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So after we get the last popcorn in, there's going to be 3 in a row. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you will be back on your corner again. So the corner will be 1 and 2, and then chain 2, and then 1, 2. If, for example, you were only left with 2 stitches instead of 3 in order to get before the corner, just throw it in just right behind the popcorn in order to make that work if you can. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. That just is the reality. So as you start your next side, the first 3 in a row will be double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and then continue then with the popcorn idea, and then do the next 3 and then popcorn, etc. I will meet you seriously now at the end of this round. So as we finish up round number 16, I'm just double crocheting my final 3 in here, and then I'm gonna hit my corner, which I have to finish, and there's gonna be 2 double crochet in that corner, followed by a half double crochet join. So just go to the top of the first chain 3 and join it. So now we're going to move on to round number 17. Round number 17 is a single crochet round, which gets this to settle down. You can see that the yarn now, because we're getting bigger and bigger, the yarns will start changing color and really starting to really mix up beautifully. And I have not used up a full ball yet, so this is going a long way, which is great. So we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to single crochet in the same space, and you're going to single crochet in each one of the stitches that you have already. So starting on the top. And what you need to pay attention to the most is don't accidentally put extra stitches in when you have a popcorn. So just look at where the double crochets are, and you're just gonna put a double crochet over top of it. So here's the popcorn. So you look, see you have 3 there on this side, and you have a popcorn. So this here is the top of the popcorn, because the next one you see is part of the other double crochet. Okay, so just look for that as your telltale sign of what you need to do. So this is the top of the popcorn. So you could just start counting that. So you can popcorn, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then popcorn, and then 1, 2, and 3, and that'll help you keep count. When you get to the next corner, you're just going to put in 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then carry on single crocheting across and using those same ideas of 1, 2, 3 popcorn, etc. So please do that all the way around for round number 17. So coming up to the end of round number 17, we got 2 more rounds to do in this week's of clues, and just coming single crochet in each, and in the final one we want to do a single crochet and then join it to the top of the first single crochet with a half double crochet join. So let's begin round number 18, a simple round. We're gonna go back to what we know. We know a double crochet, so we're going to just chain up 3, and we're gonna double crochet in the same space, and we're gonna double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across. So the corners will be each 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. So you've already done this several times, we're gonna do it once again. And what this does is it puts the popcorn right directly in the middle, and because I was switching around with single crochets, it's creating the work to be really kind of fun with your colors. So it's really quite strategic. So let's continue now, and I'll see you at the end of this round, round number 18, and we have one more round to do after that. As I'm completing round number 18, I still have one more round to go, but I'm noticing off camera that my ball is going to be running out shortly. So for the best results of my afghan, you want to make sure that the ball and the next ball you're going to use is going to be the same color that you're going to be finishing off this ball with. So sometimes you can just look at your balls and just be able to pick the color that is already ready to go in a next ball, and if you don't have that color ready to go, then you can just go back to week number 1 to see how I doctor it to find a ball that will do it. So you have to pull it at the center. The very last section here, just put in 2 double crochet and then just join it to the top for with the double or half double crochet join. The final round is really simple again. See the ridges that we created before? We're gonna create them one more time. We're gonna do that a few times within this project. So we're just gonna chain 2, doesn't count as anything, it's a builder, and put 2 half double crochets into the same space. And then this whole round, each one of these will be a back post double crochet. The corners will be 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. So I want you to just back post double crochet each of the stitches and going around, and then just carry on from that point, and I will see at the end of this round, and this will complete your study of the cheap night at the movies. So now once you get this done, treat yourself to a movie, and we'll see you next week where we study the of ants marching 2 by 2. So let's get this done first, and then we'll just conclude off today's tutorial. So I'm coming up near to the end of round number 19. This is it for this week's clues, and you can see that it finishes off with the beautiful ridge like you had seen in the beginning over here. You can see that the popcorn is nicely lined in the center of that, and it's really quite awesome. So you're going to fasten this off then, and sorry, you're not going to fasten this off. I'm getting too excited with the colors here. You're just going to keep it on, and remember that you need to put in 2 half double crochets in the final space. What am I talking about? Finishing off. You'd think I was done the project. Well, I feel like I'm done for this week. So I'm just going into the back post of each of these double crochets right to the end. So the very final space, you're just gonna finish it off and put in 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2, and join to the first half double crochet. Remember that you have a chain 2 builder. Don't worry about that, just ignore it, and then just join it with a half double crochet. And that completes off this week's clues. And you can see that the yarn is doing the work for you. You can see that when you get some really nice peekaboos that you see here, really quite awesome. So we'll see you next week. Get your homework done, and then we're gonna do the ants march. The ants are marching 2 by 2. Hurrah for next week's set of clues, and we'll see what's involved in that. We'll see you. So that's it for now. Get your popcorn all the way done, and we're going to then begin week number 4 next week with the study of ants marching 2 by 2. Well, I know we're going to go into a little bit of biology for week number 4 as we continue. So now that you've had a break, it's now time to get on to the serious stuff, and we're going to get started on week number 4. So I'll see you then. Have a good one, and it's Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations.com, as well as myself over here at the Crochet Crowd. Bye-bye.